Hi everyone, hope you're doing really well. Welcome to today's episode, which is all designed to try and help you have a really productive year. Now, we're all familiar, aren't we, with the idea of setting goals, or perhaps this time of year we call them New Year's resolutions. But we're also familiar with the idea that perhaps within 2 to 3 weeks, or at best perhaps 2 to 3 months, those goals have fallen by the wayside, and by the end of the year we can't even remember what the goals were. So what we're going to try and do is break it into 2 parts, and this one is trying to help you have a good goal and how to structure it, and the second part is going to help you try and maintain traction throughout the 12 months so that goal has the greatest likelihood of becoming a reality. The first thing I would suggest you do is you visualize the outcome. Now, for the purpose of this episode, I'm going to suggest that because you're on this channel and we're all about doing the buy to let, buy refurbish, rent refinance model, that your objective is going to be something like having a buy to let property by the end of the year. And that's going to be our basis for example for the next few minutes. So the first thing you need to do is visualize the outcome. So you want to visualize having a buy to let property, but not just having a buy to let property, having rent that's come in within the 12-month period or in the 12th month. So visualize it in all its detail. And the second thing you want to do is write down all of the things that are going to be required to have been done or to have been organised for that to have become a reality. And my suggestion to this is use an A3 piece of paper or a large whiteboard and just empty your brain of all the things you think are going to be required. So it might be things like, I've had to do my area analysis, I'm going to have to visit estate agents, I'm going to have to done some analysis on the portals, I'm going to have to have done some viewings and understand how to do an inspection, I'm going to have to understand how to put offers in, perhaps how to do a discovery day to work with private finance if I'm going to borrow money for the refurbishment, how to raise, how to work with and source a load of colleagues who I'm going to work with in terms of the power team, and so on. Write down everything that's required to ensure that goal is going to become reality. And I would say at this point, if you're anything like me, don't be obsessed with neatness and tidiness. Just get the ideas on paper. That process in itself, writing down your objective very clearly and writing down all the things that are required, is a massive step. It takes it from just being a daydream into something that's a bit more concrete. Then what you want to do is take all that information you've just captured and you want to put it into a timeline. You put it into a sequence. And my suggestion for this is, again, go back to pen and paper. Take several pieces of A4 paper, take the short ends and sellotape them together so you've got a load of 3, 4, perhaps 5 sheets all in a long line. Draw a line horizontally across all of those pieces of paper, and that's your timeline. Now take all that information that's been captured and put them into sequential order along that timeline. Again, you might make mistakes, you might get things in the wrong order. That's totally fine. It's all part of the process of planning. But what you should find is after a period of time, you'll have understood that some things have to happen before others, and you'll have put them into an order. Now what you want to do is quantify a result. So you want to say, look, I'm going to have to have done 100 viewings, because statistically 100 viewings you end up buying about one house, about 1% success rate. So I'll have to done 100 viewings to have bought a house, which means I'm going to have to have done a load of analysis on about 400 properties perhaps on Rightmove and viewings, estate agents, to get down to 100 I've gone and viewed and so on. But you need to give some numbers to quantify your results. I'm going to have had 10 discovery days to have found an investor. Whatever it might be, put down a number. And then with that, put down a date by which those things are going to be accomplished by. So for instance, you might say, I'm going to have to do 25 viewings in 2 months, and I'm going to have to done 50 viewings by the time 4 months have finished, and so on. A deadline. And then the next thing with that, is probably, you see it's all very logical, is associate a reward with each deadline and each milestone that you've accomplished. So after 2 months, you say, I've done my 25 viewings, I'm now going to play a round of golf with my friends. By the time I've done my 4-month deadline comes up, I've done 50 viewings, I'm now going to have a meal out with my family. And you might say, by the time I get to my 100th viewing in 8 months' time, I'm going to actually have a family holiday, or whatever it might be, but give yourself some sort of reward for you hitting those deadlines and those key milestones. And then the 7th thing is, having put it all into a timeline, go back to the very first item that needs to be done and do it. Take action. Start making that dream that you've visualized into reality by doing the very first step. So I hope you found that interesting, the 7 steps to help you create a really rock solid plan that's going to set you up well for the next 12 months. In the next episode, as I said, we're going to look at trying to help you maintain momentum with achieving that plan, so it becomes even more likely that you've achieved it. I would just say, if you've liked this one, please give us a thumbs up. If you've got any comments or questions, then please, as always, share them with us. And if you haven't yet subscribed, then please do. And while you're there, hit the bell notification icon so that you get alerted when we release our new videos. That's it for this one. My name's Josh Harrison. Thank you, as always, for your support. We really appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing you in the next one.